So welcome back to part 4 of the happiness series, and today 2. Now, yesterday I mentioned there are these 2 different aspects of equanimity. Today we're going to focus just on the first one, so the willingness or the ability to maintain a balanced mind, sort of a sense of poise, I guess. And there are usually a number of things that throw us off course with that. And it's almost as if they're 2 sides of one coin. So the first coin, if you like, is normally sort of either when people say something very nice to us, something complimentary perhaps, or the flip side of the coin, when somebody says something unpleasant to us, or perhaps criticizes us in some way. For most people, one of those will throw us off balance a little bit. Either we'll run away with the first one, feel very good about it, it's good to feel good about it, but we don't want to get too kind of lost in that. Or we might kind of feel a lot of resistance towards the latter. The next one is a feeling of either pleasure or pain. When we experience something pleasurable, there's the risk that we sort of get lost in that, and that we get so lost in that we're no longer really sort of present. The reverse, of course, is a feeling of pain or discomfort, and that can be physical, mental, or emotional. But when we experience that, again, there's the tendency, the temptation to sort of get lost in it. And when we're lost, we can't be present. So it usually actually leads to a greater amount of discomfort. The next one is, I guess, the easiest way of sort of describing it is either a sort of a sense of success on the one hand, achievement perhaps, or a sense of perhaps a feeling of failure on the other. When we achieve, again, when we have a sense of success, very easy to get lost in that. Equally, the flip side of the coin, we tend to move away from a sense of poise, of balance. We don't do as well as we'd like to do in something. And very often that can lead to a lot of upset or disappointment. And the final one, similar in a way but slightly different, is either when we gain something. So perhaps it's something that we've really wanted for a long time. It could be something physical, material, could be even another person, might be a relationship. Again, very easy to become dependent on that, to become lost in that. And at the same time, the flip side, of course, is when we lose something or when we lose someone. Now, of course, all of these things, they'll vary in their severity, if they're negative, or in their positivity, if it's something very nice that's happened. And depending on just how good it is or just how bad it is, we'll be more likely to lose that sense of equanimity. But over time, we can bring a greater sense of not just acceptance, but also understanding. Almost a sense of empathy towards oneself and towards that tendency of going off in either direction, rather than simply holding our ground, a willingness to be with whatever is present in the moment. But I'll come back to that at the end of today's exercise. For now, just take a moment or two to get ready, and when you're ready, just starting with a few nice big deep breaths. And as you take the next breath out, just closing the eyelids. As you just start to become more familiar with the space around you. And now just moving the attention to the top of the head as you scan down through the body, noticing both sensation and emotion. And as always, just take a moment now to be clear about your motivation, clear about who in your life you would really like to benefit from you doing this particular exercise, or who could potentially benefit from you doing this exercise. And now, without any sense of effort at all, just starting to become more aware of the breath and just resting the attention on that sensation of the breath. So in your own time now, just beginning the visualization, remembering the qualities of the visualization. And remembering in particular that quality of non-discriminating acceptance that includes oneself, so feelings towards oneself, thoughts about oneself, physical sensations within oneself. So it's as that pinprick of light expands throughout the body, bringing that same quality of acceptance towards oneself, and then outwards in every direction. And with the next out breath now, just letting go of that image and just letting the mind wander off and do whatever it wants to do for a few seconds. And now just bringing that attention back again to the body, back to the physical sensations in the body, the weight of the body on the chair. Starting to notice again the sounds, perhaps any smells. And as you open the eyes, just maintaining that sense of awareness, sense of being present. Clear how you feel. Clear about the benefits of maintaining that awareness throughout the day. So knowing what it is you're going to do next, where it is you're going to go. And when you've done that, then you can just sit back in the chair. Have a stretch if you'd like to. And before you sort of move on to whatever it is you're doing next, it's worth saying there's one question that very often comes up with this exercise. And that is with this idea of acceptance spreading outwards towards everybody, everywhere. And quite often people will ask, well, hang on, how can I have a sense of acceptance towards those people in the world who do, really very serious negative things? Or how can I have a sense of acceptance towards atrocities that are going on in the world? And of course, in this exercise, we're not condoning those things. We're not saying that they're okay or that we like them in any way. But what we're looking to do is to find a place within ourselves, a sense of balance in our mind where we can respond to those things from a skillful way rather than kind of getting very angry and very upset and almost creating a situation in which we can't really do anything to help those situations. Sometimes there are things that we can do of a practical nature to help alleviate the difficulty, the suffering of other people. But it's only really when we're coming from a sense of balance, clarity, and calm ourselves that we can actually make a genuine difference. Otherwise, we're so sort of caught up in our own stuff that we can't see the situation clearly. So that's what we're talking about. It's not a blind acceptance and ignorance of those things. It's simply about bringing about a state of balance in the mind where we can see those situations clearly. Just something to reflect upon as you go through your day.